But if you just widen your focus and you ask yourself, is this belief true? Do I have evidence of this? Hi, I'm Tash and welcome back or welcome to The Loving Lifestyle, a channel dedicated to helping lost graduates realize their worth and create a life they truly desire. Glowing up has a lot of negative connotations around it because it promotes the idea that somehow we are not enough as we are and we have to improve ourselves in order to be worthy in the eyes of society. That is not the kind of glow up that we're talking about today on The Loving Lifestyle. You are 100% worthy and magical exactly as you are right now. You do not need to tweak or radically improve any part of yourself in order to be enough. You are exactly enough. Instead, today I'm going to give you 5 tips on how to glow up on the inside and truly embrace your best self in order to live your most fulfilled life for yourself, no one else. Firstly, make sure you are learning every single day. Lifelong learning is so important. If you are someone who believes that learning is only for school or formal education, then let's change that belief now. We are limitless human beings. We can learn and absorb and create endless content and knowledge in any area or discipline. At school, we're taught that we have specific skills, or maybe we're more proficient in English and not so good in maths, or it has to be one or the other. That's just simply not true. You have the ability to expand your mind and therefore your reality with every book that you pick up, every article you read, every podcast you listen to, every video you watch, and every course you take. We want to be learning in some form every single day for the rest of 2021 and beyond. And I'm not just talking about general knowledge here. Honestly, a lot of general knowledge is kind of useless. We're talking about learning about ourselves, uncovering our belief systems and where they came from, shifting our mindset to be more expansive, researching a subject we've never looked into before but kind of always fascinated us, starting a new hobby from scratch, maybe one that you were told before you'd never be good at. If you're not learning something new every day, then how do you ever expect to expand and evolve? We don't just have to learn as a prerequisite to a certificate or something extra to add to our CV. We can learn simply because we can. I challenge you for the rest of 2021 to learn one new thing every single day. If you're someone who journals, then you can even add this as a journal prompt every evening. What did I learn today? I always have a book on hand and I like to read when I have my breakfast in the morning. And I pretty much always have an online course on the go as well, which I tend to do for about 20 minutes in the evenings. This way, I'm not only enjoying myself, but I'm also making sure that I am absorbing new information and expanding my mind every day. And over time, that really adds up. Just from doing this, I'm a completely different person with a far greater self-awareness and also an awareness of the world around me as well, because I've probably been doing this for about a year now. Why not try picking up a book in a genre that you don't usually read, or finding an educational YouTube channel on a topic that you've never looked into before, or go back to that subject that you loved at school but you never pursued, maybe because someone told you you weren't good enough for it, or that you'd never get a job because of it, or dig around on the internet a little for some new information. There is so much out there. Obviously, you gotta check your sources, but most of the time you'll be able to find something credible and interesting. Secondly, pick up a new hobby or revive an old one. So if we're learning something new every day, then why not start a new hobby? You are more than what you do for a living. Even me, I love what I do. I love being a coach, but I still have hobbies outside of that as well. I have hobbies outside of YouTube, and I know most people would say that that's a hobby. Having a hobby isn't just about being a more interested and well-rounded person. Sure, it helps with that, but it's also about having something to spend your free time on and something to think about that isn't that thing that your boss said last week, or the presentation you have coming up tomorrow, or dinner with the in-laws on Saturday. Stimulate your mind by giving it something rewarding to spend time on and think about. This could be something like picking up Sudoku, starting a new type of exercise like Pilates or dance, getting that electric keyboard out the attic and giving it a go just for fun. Grab yourself some watercolors and get creative. Remember that you don't have to be talented in a particular particular area in order to spend time on it or enjoy it. You can do a hobby just because you love it. No expectations, no need for perfection. Just have a little fun. My third tip on how to glow up on the inside in 2021 is to uncover and dispel your limiting beliefs. Your limiting beliefs are those things that have been holding you back from doing all those things that you wanted to do with your life. And they are probably what sparked you to even click on this video in the first place. We all have limiting beliefs. It's very normal, but very powerful. Those limiting beliefs are things that we say about ourselves. Like a limiting money belief would be that I can never hold on to money. Money always goes straight out the window when I get it. A limiting self-worth belief would be nobody finds me interesting. I'm not pretty enough to go for that job. We all have these beliefs, and uncovering them and dispelling them is basically like setting yourself free. Whenever you find yourself jumping to a conclusion about something because you have a fear or a negative belief around it, like that person ignored me because he thought I was ugly, ask yourself, what story are you telling yourself? Why do you believe that thing? Where did that first event happen that triggered you to internalize that belief? What event or person triggered that belief in you to begin with? Is that belief true? Now that's a hard one because belief and true kind of don't really go. Beliefs are subjective, they're up to interpretation. So when you ask yourself, is that belief true? You really need to find some actual factual evidence of whether or not that belief is true. And I can pretty much guarantee that if you really dig back on your limiting beliefs, you'll realize that actually it's not true. You've just seen that event through a singular lens. And when you expand that lens and you see all the other things around it, you'll realize that actually you could have come to many different conclusions. You just chose to come to this particular one because it's a path that you've traveled before. It's been triggered by a previous event and it's internalized in you. And now anytime something similar happens, you go straight down that path every single time. But if you just widen your focus and you ask yourself, is this belief true? Do I have evidence of this? Most of the time you're gonna find that you actually don't. You can also ask yourself, do you really believe this? Do you really believe that you didn't get that job because you weren't pretty enough? Do you really truly believe that was the reason why? Do you not think somewhere in you thinks that maybe you didn't get that job because there was someone else who just happened to be better? Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, there's nothing wrong with other people getting the job over you. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're not good. It just means that someone else needed it more or was better suited to it. What can you tell yourself that will dispel that limiting belief? How can you prove that limiting belief wrong? Tell yourself that you are beautiful. Tell yourself that you are talented. Tell yourself that you are worthy of an incredible job. This is just one example. It could be any example. When it comes to money, tell yourself that you are a good saver. Tell yourself that money comes to you easily. Tell yourself these things repeatedly and prove those limiting beliefs wrong. I like to think of these exercises as like an interview with myself. It's me asking me how I really feel about something that's happened and whether I truly identify with them or whether I could problem solve my way out of that limiting belief into something more expansive and loving. Is it really me talking? My true inner self? Or is it this little voice in my head or a previous situation or maybe even someone else's voice that I've heard? Oh, my dog wants tickles. Sorry. That's telling me that this is the truth, but actually I know that it's not. Some limiting beliefs are super obvious and you can probably already think of a few right now. They usually go along the lines of I'm not something enough. But some limiting beliefs are more deep-rooted and hidden and could stem from a situation or something you witnessed long ago that your conscience can't even remember anymore. But the belief around it is still there and it's still affecting you and subconsciously directing your decisions and feelings now. Don't feel like you have to get to the root of every single issue in order to glow up. Every time you question a belief you hold or recognize when a limiting belief pops up, you are making killer progress and getting closer and closer to that next level you. Another way to glow up in 2021 is to set some healthy personal boundaries with the people and things in your life. I have a whole very in-depth and actionable video on personal boundaries, which I will link up here and in the description box down below. It goes into why they're important and how to set them. But to iterate here, boundaries are like sets of personal standards. Boundaries are guidelines around how we wish to be treated by others. Boundaries tell others how we want to be respected, cared for, and interacted with. We all have different personality types, likes, dislikes. Therefore, everybody draws the line in a different place. But by setting healthy personal boundaries of your own, you can stop overexerting yourself in areas of life that you don't value as strongly and leave more time for the things that bring you joy and fulfillment. Plus, by enforcing your boundaries, you'll be able to see who in your life isn't respecting them and therefore you, and don't deserve to be in your life. If we want to step into that next level version of ourselves, then we need to surround ourselves with people who build us up, encourage our successes, and cheer us on as we go chase our dreams. These people value and respect our wishes and help us achieve our goals. But some people may discourage your growth. They may call you crazy or unreasonable for setting boundaries and resent you for putting yourself first. These people are used to taking advantage of you. They benefit from you staying the same, and they don't belong in your best life. It's not always easy to identify the weeds in your relationships. In fact, it's pretty common for people to say that you don't know who your friends are until you go through a hardship and see who's still with you on the other side. Setting boundaries is a great way to identify these weeds without the need for a massive life-changing event. Those who respect them you can take with you into your best life. Those who don't should be left behind. I used to be someone who yo-yoed every day between motivated and aimless, full of energy and drained, hopeful and exasperated. My lifestyle wasn't consistent. I didn't know which version of myself I would be each day when I woke up in the morning, and I didn't find my behavior or my lifestyle reliable. It wasn't until I started building a routine that I realized that I wasn't the problem. It was the lifestyle I had created for myself that was causing the unreliability in my moods and actions. One of the simplest ways to glow up in 2021 is to begin to embody your dream life in your daily habits and actions. Start to do the things that you imagine yourself doing in your dream life. Would that be waking up early, spending time getting ready, driving the long route to work so there's no traffic, doing yoga, drinking smoothies, making friends, reading lots of books, going on adventures? Whatever feels good to you, start doing it now. 2021 is your year to have a good think about what you really want to achieve with your life and how you can make it happen for you. And there's still plenty of the year left. When we have a vision for where we want to go, it is much easier to do the things that will get us there. Otherwise, you're just drifting, really. Now I know that making decisions on what you want in life can seem impossible. I've been there, but it's actually not as difficult as you might think. And once you get started, you realize you kind of can't stop. It's addictive. I have a lot of videos on this channel about self-discovery and knowing what you want in life, so you can check those out on my channel. I've got playlists and everything. Go have a little browse. But I also have a free workbook called the Who the Fuck Am I Guidebook, which walks you through how to uncover your values, nature, passions, and vision. And that is available to you for free in the description box down below. My gift to you. When you know who you are, you can make sure you're living a life that you actually want. And before you know it, you will be living your best, most beautiful life right now. So to summarize how to glow up in 2021 and step into your next level you. Firstly, make sure that you learn at least one new thing every single day. If you want to become the best version of yourself, you have to open your mind up to new ideas, beliefs, and information. Secondly, pick up a hobby that lights you up and gives your brain some mental stimulation and excitement outside of your normal life. 3, work through your limiting beliefs so that you can stop holding yourself back from greatness. 4, set boundaries with the people in your life so that you can see who truly values you and who should be left behind as you step into your next level self. And finally, align your life with your goals so that your routines and habits serve your vision for your next level self. And download the Who the Fuck Am I guidebook in the description box below to give yourself the best chance of knowing who that glowed up version of you even is. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you found it inspiring and you're ready to glow up from the inside out and embody your best self right now. Let me know down in the comments which step you're going to start with, and don't forget to give this video a big old thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I appreciate you so much, and I will see you next week or over on my Instagram at the.lovinglifestyle. 2020 is your 2021